sort out the thing.
Schedule your visit today.
Thinking. When the prosecution rested, Roof made a short closing statement, telling the jury, "I felt like I had to do it. I still feel like I had to do it." In the end, Roof was convicted on all counts. The jury recommended the death penalty, which was later imposed by the judge. But the ruling was of little solace to the victims' families.
In the ultimate imposition of the death penalty, I don't think any of the people, as a matter of fact, the people who I talked to, said this outright. People didn't feel any degree of closure or any degree of relief.
That's my home.
It had just simply been, this is the next development in this series of things that are happening.
In late 2024, on his way out of office, Joe Biden commuted the sentences of 37 of the 40 federal inmates on death row, converting them to life in prison without the possibility of parole. But he left out 3 high-profile cases: Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, the Boston Marathon bomber, Robert Bowers, the Pittsburgh synagogue attacker, and Dylan Roof. Roof may have failed to achieve his goal of igniting a race war, but in the years since, the ideas that fueled his actions have found a louder voice in American life. Looking back on it 10 years later, Jelani sees it as a harbinger of things to come.
In the immediate aftermath, thousands of people came to Charleston to reject what Roof stood for and what he believed in. But by the same token, people who think the way he thought are more prominent in American public life than they have been any time in this century, and probably any time in the last third of the prior century. And so, did he achieve what he set out for? There's some analyses that would say he did. And even if it's not unqualified, we have to grapple with the question of whether or not that is true.
Even so, the Charleston massacre did lead to positive change. It not only contributed to the removal of the Confederate flag from the State House, it also kicked off a national reckoning with Confederate symbols throughout the South. In 2018, Charleston City Council voted to apologize for the city's role in slavery, acknowledging that over 40% of enslaved Africans who disembarked in North America arrived through Charleston Harbor. On the 5th anniversary of the tragedy, just days after George Floyd was killed, the mayor of Charleston announced that the statue of John C. Calhoun would finally be taken down after 133 years. A week later, a crew worked through the night to cut the bronze statue free. Around dawn, a crane lifted it off its 100-foot pedestal as onlookers from the neighborhood cheered. If you have information, story tips, or feedback you'd like to share with the Gone South team, please email us at gonesouthpodcast@gmail.com. That's gonesouthpodcast@gmail.com. For bonus content, you can follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Gone South Podcast. You can also sign up for our newsletter on Substack at Gone South with Jed Lipinski. Gone South is an Odyssey original podcast. Show. Thank you for listening to Gone South.
Attack on one hand and ordering a ride at the other. Use your stack of cash back. With Venmo Stash, get up to 5% cash back and a bundle with your favorite rates. Earn more cash, use more stash. Venmo Stash terms is $55. That's $100 cash back per month. See terms at Venmo.com/stash.
So first off, we got this all night hydrating mask. It's plastic.
I need that box back.
We got an all-nighter hydrating face and neck serum.
You're probably not drinking enough water. I'm probably not either. We all mean to, and then we don't. That's where Ello comes in. They make the viral water bottles and tumblers you've seen all over Instagram and TikTok, but they're not just cute. They're designed to make daily routines easier. Their Oasis tumbler has a lid that twists to tuck the straw away so it stays clean and totally leak-proof. And the pop and fill bottle has a push-button lid so you can refill it without unscrewing the top. If you're into meal prepping or love leftovers, their leak-proof glass containers are made for life on the go, not leaks in your bag. Ello's mission is replacing single-use plastics with reusable products that look good, work well, and last. Plus, they're backed by a limited lifetime warranty. Visit elloproducts.com and use code TRYELLO20 for 20% off your first purchase. That's ELLOproducts.com, code TRYELLO20 for 20% off your first Ello purchase.
Switching insurance companies to see if you can save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see these. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
In the summer of 2012, historian Karen Cox was digging through the Mississippi State Archives. She was researching something called the Natchez Pilgrimage, an annual event that brings thousands of people to the city of Natchez to tour its grand antebellum homes.
While I was there and I was talking to a historian slash archivist named Clinton Bagley, at the time Clinton said to me, if you want to know about Natchez, you need to look at Goat Castle.
Karen thought he'd said Ghost Castle, but the archivist corrected her. Goat Castle. Karen was intrigued. She asked to see the file.
And when I opened that up and started reading sort of the outlines of the story, I just instinctively knew that that was going to be the book I was going to write next.
The story of Goat Castle, Karen discovered, centered on a shocking murder in 1932. The victim was a reclusive former Southern belle. The suspects were her two eccentric neighbors, a failed and this one from real life.